So, AI video generation. I gotta say, looking at the stack of articles and news clips kind of makes me wonder, is this the beginning of the end for film or the start of something totally new?
Yeah, it's a big question, isn't it? A lot of potential, but also a lot of uncertainty.
You've got Lionsgate, like actual Hollywood Lionsgate, teaming up with this AI company, Runway, and they're giving them their whole archive, every film, every TV show. What are they thinking?
Well, the idea is to see what AI can do with that much data. Imagine an AI that's watched and analyzed every frame of, I don't know, every John Wick movie ever made.
Okay, hold on. So are we talking robots with cameras on set replacing human film crews? Because that's a whole different can of worms.
Not exactly. It's more like the AI is learning the language of film itself, the pacing, the editing, the visual style, all of it.
So instead of replacing the crew, it's like giving them a superpowered assistant that can, what, predict what shot should come next or something.
It's more nuanced than that, but you're on the right track. And companies like Pika Labs are taking this even further.
Pika Labs, that's the one started by that, what was it, a Stanford dropout.
Yeah, Demi Guo, 26 years old and already shaking things up. What they're doing is making AI video generation incredibly accessible. Think of it like this. You type in a scene, a spaceship lands in Times Square, and Elvis steps out, hit enter, and boom, the AI generates a video clip.
Seriously? That easy? No way.
That's the disruptive part. And get this, they claim they can do it for a few $1,000s, compared to the tens of millions it would cost to do that with traditional filmmaking.
Okay, whoa. So you're saying you could potentially make a feature film for the cost of, like, a used car. What does that even do to the industry? Like, what happens to film schools, to investors, to indie filmmakers?
That's what everyone's trying to figure out. On the one hand, it could be this huge democratizing force, allowing anyone with a story to tell it on screen.
And on the other?
On the other, it raises questions about the art form itself. Can an AI truly replicate the human element, the years of experience and intuition that go into a great film?
That's what I'm wondering. Is this the start of something amazing, a whole new era of creativity, or are we just heading for a world of, like, soulless, algorithm-generated content?
$1 million question, for sure. And it's less about the technology itself and more about how we choose to use it. How do we make sure human creativity doesn't get lost in the process?
So we've got AI learning to make movies, maybe even on a shoestring budget. What does that even mean for the people already in the industry? Are screenwriters, directors, all those special effects artists, are they out of a job?
Yeah, that's the big fear, right? And these articles bring up some interesting points, like Samir Malal, he's coming at it from both sides, the film world and the tech world. He seems to think it'll be a shakeup, but not necessarily a bad one.
Yeah, he wasn't all doom and gloom. Kind of a nice change of pace, honestly.
Right. He sees it as an opportunity for new voices to break through, people who maybe didn't have the connections or the money to get into Hollywood before.
So kind of levels the playing field a little.
Exactly. He thinks it could lead to more diverse stories being told, a richer media landscape overall.
I get that, but what about the people who've been working in film for years? Decades, even. Are they just supposed to step aside and let the robots take over?
Well, Malal's point is that it's not about replacement, but adapting. He's challenging creatives to see AI as a tool, something that can work with them, and enhance what they're already doing.
So, like, work with the machines, not against them.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got PJ Aturo. He takes it even further. He makes this really interesting comparison between photography and painting.
Oh, right. Like, photography didn't kill painting. It just kind of changed things.
Exactly. And he thinks AI will do the same for film. Open up new creative avenues, new ways of telling stories.
Instead of focusing on the jobs lost, we should be looking at the new jobs, the new opportunities that this could create.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Aturo even thinks we could see, like, the next Star Wars coming from some kid in their basement using AI.
Whoa, hold on. Really? That's a bold prediction.
It is, but it speaks to this shift in how we think about creativity. We might be on the verge of this huge explosion of new stories, new voices from everywhere.
Okay, I gotta admit, that's pretty exciting. But let's be real, even if all that happens, some people are still gonna lose their jobs, right?
Yeah.
If a studio can pay an AI to do the work of a whole team, what's stopping them?
It's a valid concern. And both Aturo and Malal admit that job displacement is a real issue. And it's not just filmmakers, it's everyone involved. Set design, costumes, special effects. It could have a huge ripple effect.
So what do we do? How do we balance this amazing potential with the fact that it could put people out of work?
It's the big question, and there's no easy answer. But it starts with talking about it, having these conversations about the impact.
And making sure everyone benefits, not just a select few.
Absolutely. This isn't just about the future of film. It's about the future of work.
Okay, so robots making movies, maybe even blockbusters, it's a lot to take in. But there's something else we haven't really talked about yet.
What's that?
Ownership. Like, if an AI watches a bunch of movies and then makes a new one, who owns that movie?
Yeah. That's the million-dollar question, right? The whole copyright thing gets really messy.
Right. It's like if I feed an AI 100 scripts and it writes a new one, who gets the credit? Who gets paid?
Exactly. And what about all the stuff the AI learned from in the first place? If it's analyzing, like, thousands of hours of copyrighted movies, shouldn't those filmmakers get something?
It's like saying I should get a cut of every movie ticket because who knows, maybe some director was inspired by something I did 20 years ago.
And it goes beyond just the legal stuff, too. It's almost philosophical. Like, if an AI copies a director's style, is that stealing? Or is it just, like, the AI using what it learned?
It makes you wonder if there will even be a difference anymore between human creativity and, artificial.
It's a scary thought, but also kind of exciting, right?
Totally. Like, imagine a whole wave of new movies, new stories, things we've never seen before. But are we losing something, too? Something essentially human?
That's the core of it, isn't it? It's not just about the technology. It's about what we do with it, what it means for us, for our culture.
So what now? Where do we go from here?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think there's one answer, but I think we need to keep talking about it, keep being thoughtful about how we develop this technology.
Because ultimately, stories, they're about connection, human connection. And no algorithm can really replicate that.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, I think my brain is officially fried for one day. But if you're listening, I gotta ask, what do you think? What does a future with AI filmmaking even look like? Is it a good thing? A bad thing? Something else entirely? Let us know. This is a conversation that's just getting started.